Hello and welcome to Sahaja Yoga Going Deeper. Today's theme is the Swadhisthana Chakra and Shri Saraswati.
So, We can sit comfortably. And we can take some deep breaths. And we take our attention inside. Now it becomes stressful. Again, people are more out. So we forget all this, all our works, and we just go inside. And try to find the silence and the peace within ourselves. Now we can raise our kundalinis and give us abundance. We can start by putting both our hands on Mother Earth. Please, Mother Earth, take away all my imbalances. Please take away all my negativities. Please, Mother Earth, cleanse me. Make me pure. We can take up our left hand on the knee and we keep the right hand on Mother Earth. And we go with our attention in our Muladhara. Shri Ganesha, please cleanse my Muladhara. The Muladhara chakra is our roots. They have to be strong. Mother, please make my Muladhara chakra strong and pure. We can take the mantra to Shri Ganesha.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
We still keep the right hand on Mother Earth. And we can say together the Ganesha Taro Shirsha, or those who does not know it yet can just listen to it. It is a long prayer or mantra to Shri Ganesha.
Namaste Ganapataye Swameva Pratyaksham Tattvam Asi Swameva Kevalam Kartasi Swameva Kevalam Dartasi Swameva Kevalam Artasi Tvameva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshadatmasi Nityam Ritam Vashmi Satyam Vashmi Avatvamam Avavaktaram Avashrotaram Avadataram Avadhataram Avanucharam Avashishyam Avapashchatat Avapurastat Avotaratat Avadakshinatat Avacharvatat Avadaratat Sarvatomam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Vanmayas Tvam Chinmayas Tvam Arandamayas Tvam Brahmamayas Tvam Satchit Ananda Vidyosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tvato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatastishthati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Layameshyati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Pratyeti Tvam Bhumi Rapo Nalo Nilo Navam Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatrayatita Tvam Dehatrayatita Tvam Kalatrayatita Tvam Muladharashitosi Nityam Tvam Shakti Trayatmaka Tvam Yogino Jayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnus Tvam Rudras Tvam Indras Tvam Agnis Tvam Vayus Tvam Suryas Tvam Chandramas Tvam Brahma Bhuvaswaram Ganadim Purvamusharya Varnadim Taranantaram Anushvara Paratara Ardendulasitam Tarena Ridham Etatava Manushvarupam madhyamarupam anushvarashchantyarupam indurutara Nada Sandanam Sanita Sandi Saisha Ganesha Vidya Ganakarishi Nishrit Gayatri Chanda Ganapatir Devata Om Gam Ganapataye Ekadantaya vidmahe Vakratundaya dhimahi Tano danti prachodayat Ekadantam chaturhasam Asham ankushadarinam Radam Chavaradam Hastairviranam Mushakadvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurvakarnakam Raktabasasam Rakta Gandhanu Liktangam Rakta Pushpai Supoditam Bhaktanu Kampinam Devam Jagat Karanam Vachutam Avirbhutam Chashtishyarao Prakrite Purushat Param Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Vara Namo Vratapataye Namo Ganapataye Nama Pramatapataye Namaste Sulambodharaya Ekadantaya Vignanashine Shivasutaya Shri Varamurtaye Namo Namah Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namah.
So now we can go with our attention to the left Svadhisthana. We can put our right hand there. Here's the seed of the pure knowledge. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. The pure knowledge which is not found in books, but it is found inside ourselves, which is the vibrations. The mantra is Shri Nirmala Vidya.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirmala Vidya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo
Now we move our attention to the center Svadhisthana. Even here we can follow with our right hand. Here's the seat of Shri Brahma Deva and Saraswati. And here's the place where we get all creativity and all the beauty. We can take the mantra to Shri Brahma Deva Saraswati.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Brahmadeva Saraswati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
Now we can take the right hand on our lap and we put the left hand on our right Svadhisthana. Mother, I do nothing. You do everything. I do nothing. Shri Brahmadeva incarnated once as Shri Ali, the husband of Shri Fatima, the daughter of Shri Muhammad. We can take the mantra here for the right Svadhisthana. Shri Fatima Hasrat Ali.
Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Fatima Hasrat Ali Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
Now we will watch a little short speech of Shri Mataji, only 5 minutes, about the Svadhisthana chakra, and we try to keep our attention in our Sasrara.
See, sickness comes to you, as I told you, through our centers getting exhausted. As this is one center, all right, on the left side, left sympathetic, the right sympathetic. And they join together, this is the center now. So we are using the energy of the center that is limited for our purpose, anything. Supposing, I'll give an example of a very good example of one Svadhisthana chakra. Is the center, in the second center, which looks after the aortic plexus in the medical terminology. But it's not complete, I mean, it's one of the parts. Now, the work of the Svadhisthana chakra, according to Sahaja Yoga, which has worked, of course, wonders with this theory, that it gives energy for the replacement of the brain cells. Because we never think about it. We are using the brain all the time. We don't think how it is replaced. Even in the medical science, they don't think about it. So one of the works it has got, it moves here. And also it has to look after your liver, it has to look after your pancreas, it has to look after spleen, it has to look after your kidneys, it has to also look after the lower part of your large intestines. All right? Now, but all the time a person is thinking. These days everybody thinks too much and very futuristic. As a result, it cannot pay attention to all other things. So what happens? The first thing is affected is the liver. Now liver gets all the heat from the whole body and eliminates it. It's poison from the body, you can say, eliminates it into the blood circulation. It goes into the blood. Now when, you see, liver is not attended to or doesn't get sufficient energy, it starts working very hard. So it becomes overactive liver and this heat cannot be removed. So the heat starts rising upward and downwards. As a result, your these what you call the lungs are made of, as you know, they are made like a sponge. So it becomes coagulated, and you develop asthma. We cure asthma through liver, curable. Then it descends down. When it descends down, it affects your kidneys. By that you get high blood pressure. Also, the another thing you get is constipation. Then your pancreas is neglected. When pancreas is neglected, you get diabetes. Only the people who are thinking, sitting, planning for future get diabetes, never a villager. In India, if we go to a village, they'll say you have to put sugar as much that the spoon must stand at right angles. They take so much sugar. Nobody gets diabetes because they earn in the morning, nicely go home and sleep off. Here we think and think and think of the future. So the neglect of the pancreas gives you diabetes. Now we have many people who have cured of diabetes also. Then the third one is the worst, is the spleen. That the spleen is like a, we say rhythm, keeps the rhythm. It's a speedometer in us. And supposing you are eating the food and suddenly you have to run, then you get a pain because it has to produce red blood corpuscles. But if you are always in an emergency in modern times as you are, first of all you read the newspaper, you are under shock. Because newspaper must shock you. So then another shock, then another shock. Then in the traffic you get a shock. So this poor spleen doesn't know how to behave in this crazy world. And it becomes very crazy and vulnerable. And with the slightest shock, it can get blood cancer. I must tell you that we have cured really blood cancer patients. Absolutely cured, completely cured, without any medicine or anything. Absolutely cured. We have certificates and everything about them. And surprisingly, all of them were architects. This is one. Then another thing, as I told you, it affects the kidneys and it affects also the lower intestines. So only one center, if you use it too much for one purpose, can give you all these troubles. And ultimately the heat might rise to your heart and you might have a massive heart attack. Especially if young people, if they are drinking too much, if they are playing tennis or of a very, any game which is like football or tennis, drinking too much and thinking too much, they might get a massive heart attack. And die very young, at a very young age, and it's absolutely fatal. If you get this attack at a young age, it's fatal. You cannot save them. The other way around, if you have inactive organs also, you can have inactive, also due to that also you get troubles. So when you treat somebody on its roots, it's very easy to solve the problem. See, supposing you have to treat a tree and you start treating all the leaves, it's very difficult. But if you can go to the roots, it's so easy, simple.
So we keep our attention on Sahasrara. We can take the right hand in front of us and we lift slowly up our Kundalini. Also with our attention. Can do it 3 times around. So our attention goes through all the chakras up to the Sahasrara. Can put the right hand on the top of the head on the Sahasrara. And we put the hand up a little bit above our head and observe if we feel something. Is it still hot or is it cool? You can put down the hand on the lap. And we can have the attention that we had the hand on top of the head. And we forgive everything and everyone. And we forgive ourselves. We just forgive everything. We keep our attention in the Sahasrara, and we can sing all together the 3 Sahasrara mantras.
we can sit in silent meditation. Jai Shri Mataji. So now we will see another extract from a speech from Shri Mataji, which will be about the qualities of Shri Saraswati.
Saraswati is the goddess of flood, and Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge, which is pure knowledge. Now, the goddess of learning, Saraswati, has got 4 arms. She wears white clothes because it's a sign of purity. She is a virgin. Then she has in her hand the veena. That is the instrument which was the first instrument that was created by the gods to play the classical music, or you can say the music that was appreciated by the gods. So that's one veena. And the 2 other hands are, one has got a rosary in the hand. In the sense, a person who is learned should be a person who should be very much detached, a saintly person. Should not have too many attachments, and should not be, it always happens. A person who is a learned man, who is overeducated, not so much interested in the family, he becomes more ascetic, is very disciplined, self-disciplined, is very meticulous, is very efficient, is very right-sided, as you can call it, you see. So all that goes hand in hand. And then is in the left hand she has a book. So that means that the power of the Lakshmi gives you, the power of Saraswati gives you the full creativity by which you can create books. That also means that. But must have in the books means that whatever you are doing now, supposing we are doing Sahaja. Sahaja is, say, concerning the divine. So we must know what are in the books, means in the scriptures. We must know how it relates to the scriptures. Like it should not be something just coming like a mushroom knowledge, but it should be related to the books, means which is already written now, which is already being typed, being printed. But that doesn't mean that it is a bookish knowledge, but it is whatever you have found out, whatever you have discovered has to be related to the books. And that is the power she gives us, that she relates. Like when you must have read many books where there are quotations. Even I use many quotations. And I give you now, all this knowledge is already part of it, I should say, not all of it. But part of it is from the books, in the sense it is written about Saraswati and everything. So one must learn how to respect the books, especially the scriptures, and she is the one who gives you the penetration power into these books to know what is the truth and what is not. Penetration power to understand what is written between the lines, what is the subtle meaning of the whole thing. That is the power of Saraswati. There's another power she has is Vakshakti, by which you give speech. She's the one who gives you the power to speak. She's the one who gives you the power to communicate by speech, by your writings, by all the drama or plays you have, or films you have, any kind of communications that are done through the power of Saraswati has that intellect behind it, and that intellect comes from her power. So even Shri Krishna has to use her power. Everybody has to use her power, because if you don't use the Saraswati's power, then only Shri Krishna's one power is that he is a diplomat, and that diplomacy comes from the power of Saraswati. So everybody, whosoever you find as brilliant, is actually has been endowed with this power of Saraswati. The people who are worshipping Saraswati have to be detached people, because those who are learned, those who are artists, those who are producing art and all those things are not so much rewarded in their lifetime. So if they are detached from Lakshmi, if they are detached from things, then they just produce it for their own joy. They don't worry how much money they are going to get. So the Lakshmi's powers are to give you a great learning, to give you a great understanding intellectually, and to give you a kind of a personality that outshines others by your brilliance. But it may not give you money. It may not give you lots of possessions, but it gives you possessions which are cannot be stolen, which cannot be taken away. And she is a person of humility. So the person who is learned has to be humble. If he is not humble, then he is not learned, according to the principle of Saraswati. She has, the person who is very much learned has to bow down with the fruits of his learnings, so that a person who is learned and thinks well of himself is a person who has not yet learned fully. He's a half-baked person. And that's why an egoist cannot be a learned man. Learned man is always extremely humble. That is the sign, because she is the power which gives you humility. Not humility of a businessman, but a genuine humility she gives you. There are so many qualities, and I think I'll be able to write one day about that. Gradually you will start seeing the divine play, how things work out, how it helps you. But supposing God has brought something before you. Dr. Amarlika told me a nice story about this, which is very interesting, that between the goddess of wealth and the goddess of education, there was a little conflict. We can say education or the Saraswati, which if neglected or if too much adored can make you egoistical. In the sense that if you become a person who is after learning, you can be thrown on the other side. So this lady wanted to test the power of wealth. So she said to the Lakshmi that, all right, let's see on this person. This person was a beggar. He needed money and very much. So Lakshmi put a lot of money in a big utensils, what we call handa, and put it in his way. This fellow was walking, so Saraswati entered into his mind. As soon as Saraswati enters into the mind, he became egoistical. And he didn't even look at that, just walked off. That was his need, but he walked off. So it suggests one thing, that when people become egoistical, start making their own plans, start making their own suggestions and images they form, then what happens? That the divine, which is trying to supply for your need, for your wants, for your solutions, disappears. This is what happens, that we do not allow the divine to have its play. This is not only on material level. It is true also on emotional level. It is true also on our physical level. But the best of all, that it is true about spiritual level also. So we should not miss the point. Let the divine play its role and we should be able to see. Like Krishna has said, karmanyeva adhikaraste. It is our job to do the job.
We will now meditate with some music that is specially composed for the Swadhisthana chakra. It's Rag Yama. We can end today's program with lifting the Kundalini and taking Bandha.